Hello and welcome to What's Happening in Telfair County for the month of June. I'm Tim Deep, and I'm so happy and honored to have the Telfair County Chamber of Commerce President, Paula Anderson, with us. Paula, how's it going today?
Going good. Thank you for allowing us to do this, Tim. We appreciate it.
We'll have a good time. We enjoyed last month, and we're located here today at the Telfair County Rec Department, and we'll explain why in just a moment, but just to say a quick shout out to our sponsors. Deep and Deeper Cleaning is a proud sponsor of this What's Happening program, along with, of course, Deep Productions, which is actually doing this. Merchants and Citizens Bank is a proud sponsor, as is the Telfair County Chamber of Commerce. So again, we appreciate all the sponsors that are a part of this broadcast this afternoon. Paula, here at the Rec Department, I thought it'd be a good idea to have this podcast from here because just about 3 days ago from when this is recorded, there was a gigantic baseball tournament under the direction of Mike Harrelson, the Rec Department Director. And there were 30-something teams. There were lots of fun, lots of people. But from an economic standpoint, I thought, man, the town of Telfair and McRae and all really benefited, don't you think?
It does. We don't think about these type of activities being tourism, but how many's on a baseball team?
You got at least 9 that play and 3 or 4 others that are on the bench, so about 13 or 14 probably.
In addition to that, then, say there's 13, there's at least one more person going to come with them.
Exactly.
Usually more than one. So you're looking at multiple people, hundreds of people typically that are coming to a community, and they have to eat.
And they did.
And I was on the road Saturday, and I got a text from Debbie Bullard. She says, you would not believe how packed out the restaurants are throughout town because of this tournament. And so it is good for the economy, people coming from out of town, spending money in our community. That is good for the business.
Oh, yes.
That's sales that they might not have typically had in that one day, so they're making money. Their waitresses, if they have waitresses, their tips are more.
Right.
And it is sales tax that normally we wouldn't have collected in that day that's coming back to our community to better our community. So anything that we have like that it is great for the economy here.
Oh, yeah. And Paula, when I was, like I say, watching, you mentioned that, but the gas stations too, because, boy, people were going up and down the roads all afternoon.
That's right.
And
well,
I bet the ice machine, too, got it pretty good,
I'm sure
too.
it is, because a lot of them, they bring coolers, so you got the ice machine that's probably people taking their coolers, and some of them, I know a lot of tournaments like that, people will bring their little grills and they'll tailgate. Yep. So they may have actually went to some of our grocery stores and purchased something, or sodas from the convenience store too. So it is great when we have events like that. And like I said, most of the time we do not think about baseball tournaments being tourism. Anything that brings people to our community that normally would not be here is tourism.
And they came from all parts of Georgia, 30-something teams. It wasn't just the counties from around. The reason I know that, I was standing in line at Dairy Queen, and all of a sudden a bunch of kids from Sumter County came in, and I thought, my gosh, y'all really want to play some ball? And apparently they did, and did a great job.
Yeah.
And, the nice thing that when you look at that, the people that were there, everybody was laughing, smiling, having a good time. So I feel like Telfair really put its best foot forward.
Yep. And I think our businesses, when they have these out-of-town people, I think they go extra mile in making sure that they show appreciation to those people stopping into their restaurant or to their store, whatever business it may be. So, I got to commend our employers of our retail and how they treat people from out of town. And, they do an excellent job in showing appreciation and providing that service to those people.
Oh, they did great. And again, like I say, to the Rec Department, great job. And Mike Harrelson, like I say, I know that the organization of it, and I know it was great. I heard that it ended late at night because we had a couple of rain delays. So we couldn't help the rain, but I don't think it dampened anybody's spirits.
No, as long as it's not lightning or raining real hard, they usually continue playing.
And they did. Well, Paula, one of the great things from coming on the last show with you was that I got to learn a lot about some of the things going on in Telfair. And I know that there was the raft race, of course. There were some other things. My wife, Patty, and I went to one of the freebies, and that was the the dog dipping over at Lumber City Hardware, man, it was great. So if people, when you're watching this, as we go through some of the things today, know that I'm going to some of them, and I'm not going to lie to you. It was some wonderful things. And just at the dog dipping, I got so carried away with it, man. Seeing the dogs and the owners, I think the owners were having a rough time, but the dogs were having a ball. So it was great.
And and Lumber City Hardware has used a creative way to bring people into their business. Providing a service. But then they have things that that they had sales that day on their dog products.
Exactly.
So they're being creative and bring people into their store. We think about Lumber City Hardware, or when we say hardware, we're thinking about lumber and nails and screws and bolts and nuts.
Yeah.
But you buy dog food. Sometimes you can buy
cleaning supplies, anything. They have it all
types of things. So they're very creative, and they also do other things there throughout the year, such as they have a crafting event occasionally. And that brings, it's like women's night out. They do the men's.
That was it.
Yeah. And so it brings in people for different reasons, to that business. And so you have to get creative to get people to come shop sometimes.
You do. But it was just a wonderful event, and there's so many things going on in Telfair. We hope that the viewers will take advantage of it. One of the first ones I saw on the newsletter is the reading program at the library. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there, Paul.
Most people probably know that every year, most of our public libraries have some sort of summer reading program, but they do typically one day a week. They have special activities.
Right.
Summer's out, kids need something to do. Parents take them to the library to check out books, hopefully.
Yeah. We
encourage them to do that. But the libraries then provide special activities, usually once a week. Most of the time it's in the month of June.
Right.
And so the Telfair County Library is the same way. Norwood Davison and his staff do an excellent job in providing this summer reading program with different activities. And this year's theme is Libraries Rock.
I like it.
And we still check out books at the library. I seen Tom do it, but
there you go.
I just read whatever he brings me. I love to read. I've always loved to read. I remember as a child, I lived out in the middle of the boondocks.
Yeah.
And we didn't go to town hardly once a week. But we had the bookmobile. When I was a child, that came to the house every 2 weeks, and they would kind of pick up on what you read, and they would make sure they had something in that line, and check out books and read them, and then they come back in 2 weeks and you check out more.
What a great
Wasn't
memory.
that great?
What a wonderful memory. I tell you what that is. And like our local library with all that's going on now, and you mentioned Norwood, he does a fantastic job along with the staff. And I was just noticing again that back on June the 4th, it looks like they had something to call Animal Tales Born to Be Wild.
Born to Be Wild. Now, I didn't go, but that was this year. They're doing 2 extra events. One was this past Monday, and then they'll have an extra one on June the 28th, which is Thursday. But every Tuesday, which actually Tuesday they had their second one,
right?
Which was Ranger Jody, and she is a return guest every year. Everybody loves for Ranger Jody to come. But next Tuesday, they've got Ken Scott on June the 12th. I'm not for certain what he does.
Right.
I think I've heard that he's been before. Then Tuesday, June the 19th, they will have Barry Mann with Ricky the Rockin' Reading Raccoon.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. Ricky the Rockin' Reading Raccoon.
I'm not going to try.
I'm not
going to try.
But then on June the 26th, be Ranger Jody again. And the Tuesday activities and the one on Thursday, June the 20th, they're at 1 p.m. at our Telfair County Public Library, which is located at 101 West College Street. So if you have a child that you would like to take, even adults could go and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
So,
and again, I've got my library card. I have not been in a while, but I have been in to talk to Norwood about different things. So my wife being a media specialist, it's probably time for me to check out a book. So
right.
I look forward to it.
And usually the reading program's mostly focused for kids, but adults need to remember that the library is always open Monday through Friday.
Right.
The times vary. they open at 10 in the morning, and on Monday they're open till 7, and then the rest of the week till 5 p.m. So if you like to read, or you need to use a computer, or genealogy, they have a genealogy department
and that's
there.
big these days.
It is. Check out our public library. It's free. You just get a library card that doesn't cost you anything.
That's right.
Check
and go
you
in
out
there
some books.
and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And man, it's a great way to spend an afternoon.
It is.
Too. Well, Paula, I know we're coming up close on July. And again, I was noticing in this month's newsletter that there's a lot about the 4th of July celebration. But one thing I noticed was that we have a number of sponsors and different levels for people. Now, the fireworks, I'm asking this kind of a little rhetorical question. Fireworks aren't free to just get them and shoot, are they?
They are not.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about these sponsorships and things along that line.
Each year, for many years, way before my time at the chamber, they started doing the fireworks show, and they order these professional grade fireworks. This above the level that you and I could buy.
Oh yeah.
And the McRae Helena Fire Department is in charge of that. They're certified to purchase them. They're certified to discharge them.
Oh, so the local fire departments actually do the shooting them up. Okay.
That's right.
I didn't realize
Typically,
that.
you have, wherever you buy them from, they will charge you a hefty fee
Yes.
to discharge the fireworks. But being our fire department is certified to handle them, that saves us that money. They donate their time. They have an excellent time at doing it. They love it. But it does cost a lot of money for the fireworks that we do. Several levels. Patriotic is the highest. It means they donate the largest amount per sponsor. And we offer them a little bit more for what they do. We provide their name, their all their business contact.
People know.
Right. Now, does that mean that these others that don't have their contact information listed not important? No, it does not mean that.
Right.
Because it's like I tell somebody, if you donate $5 or if you donate $1,000, it helps us.
Sure.
So,
absolutely.
But they are different levels. I do have it listed here on the next page. We have the patriotic level, which is $1,000, and of course you get a little bit more with the higher the level. The red, white, and blue level, which is $500. The spirited level, which is $250. The proud level, which is $100. And then if you want to donate less than that, you're in the grateful level.
And that's just I'm like you, anything that's given
that's right.
is appreciated.
Now, we have these sponsors because we don't want to have to charge admission. We want it to be a free service, a free event for the people. Not just Telfair County people, but people come from all around.
Sure.
So that is one reason we ask for sponsors. And you do not have to be a business to be a sponsor.
An individual can
do it, and you'll be listed just like anybody else would.
That is great.
So,
well, we encourage people,
free.
To certainly consider. And who would they contact if they wanted to be a sponsor? Would it be you, Paula?
It would be me at the Chamber of Commerce, or you can go to the website and you can find the information there and just print it off and mail it in, or drop it by.
Great. Now, this year's program or fireworks, it's not that you just ride out there, see fireworks, and go home.
No.
There's some nice things going on the day, and I believe I'm looking. It's going to be Saturday, July the 7th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And we've got some things going on. I think some music and all. What are some of the things that we got going on? Cool.
It's Corey Spires and the High Voltage Band.
Now, I've heard her sing before, and she is very talented.
She is very talented. And she is local. She is one of our local talent for Telfair County. She is an up-and-coming, I feel like, very popular performer. And
she does a variety of different kind of songs, not just country, not just modern, but she does a wide variety.
And she writes some of her own songs. In fact, I think she is working on a new song now.
That's fantastic.
So, but, come out. I want people to come out before the fireworks start. Bring you a chair or a towel to sit on, or just sit on the grass and come down to the stage.
Yeah.
And enjoy the music. Get up and do some dancing.
And just enjoy it.
Yeah, and we'll have a few vendors there that are selling drinks and some food, and we always have a light up vendor, and light up vendors like the light up necklaces, the glow things.
Yeah. Oh, the kids love that. Well, I do too.
They've been coming quite a few years now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Those have, but we will have some vendors on site. We don't do a lot of vendors for this event. It just doesn't work, but we do want to have somebody to be able to buy something to drink, or maybe a funnel cake, or ice cream.
And on a hot day, they're going to want
That's right. So,
But if they come, it starts, I think, officially, around 7 in the evening. So if they come a little bit early, toss a little baseball or football around, just relax and have a big time.
Make it a 4th of July fun day for you with your family. Come out there and
bring a watermelon.
Bring a watermelon.
Absolutely.
We won't care.
You know, and have,
we might go have a slice with them if they bring it.
Absolutely. I'll put them on camera if they'll give me a free slice, so we'll see. But we look forward to that. And y'all, it's usually, like I say, a wonderful event.
It is.
And in this day and time, we want people to understand, that regardless of our feelings, politically or otherwise, we're all Americans, and we're all here to love and celebrate that day.
That's right.
We're looking forward
we
to
need
it.
to be proud to be a part of the United States of America.
Absolutely.
Where we are in the land of the free.
Absolutely.
And
we
have the freedom to do this kind of stuff.
That's it. And we're going to, and speaking of free, like I say, you can go in free here.
No admission. It's free admission.
So come on, that'd be great. Paula, I also noticed as we go through that during the summer, I know that school is out for the high school, elementary school, and all, but there are a number of people that are on post-secondary projects and post-secondary education. And I noticed here that the Oconee Fall Line Technical College is probably doing some classes or getting ready for people to start enrolling. Can you tell us a little bit about that today?
They do. They actually do a summer program, and some of the classes can be taken here in the center in McRae, Helena.
That's
at
great.
Little Ocmulgee Instructional Center. And, they're pushing that sometimes you need something above that high school diploma.
True.
Or GED diploma. And it doesn't mean you got to have a 4-year degree, but we're getting back to more hands-on skills in Georgia particularly, where they need to learn a trade.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether it's robotics or assembly or welding, whatever it may be. So they do offer those type of educational opportunities, so you are more qualified to obtain that job that you want.
Exactly.
And so they offer degrees or diploma programs, and most of them can be completed in 2 years or less.
I mean, really, when you look at it, and I think is it Oconee or maybe another one that offers things like an air conditioning repair.
They do.
And this time of year, oh my gosh, they're in demand because, again, we've actually seen the cars and all going.
That's right.
I know a lot of people are into cosmetology and want to get into that. I certainly could use it. So, again, if you look at it, there's so many things that people can do. And college is wonderful. Love it. But I'm like you, there's so many things that you can do and enjoy and make some money. And this is a fantastic resource.
And of course, I am not knocking anybody that wants to go on and get their 4-year degree at a university. That is wonderful, as long as they're going and getting something.
That's it. That's it. And the quality of life with the more money you make. I mean, so it's a great investment. It's a great investment. I noticed here that, they have GED preparation and basic computer skills. They do. So there's a lot of things that people could go and enjoy.
If someone did not complete their high school education, but they want to further it and they need their diploma first, go to the GED classes and obtain that. So then you can move on to the next level of getting a degree or diploma or certificate in something. So,
and the thing is, sometimes employers, to get that next promotion, say, what's your educational level?
That's right. And GED classes are free.
See, I didn't know that.
They're free. Now, if you go take some of these others, they're not. But for the diploma or the certificates, there's always Hope Scholarship, grants, student loans, payment plans, and there's scholarships a lot of times for high school students. I don't know of too many for adults, but they are some for adults. Sometimes I know Rotary Club does a scholarship for someone that completed the GED program here, so they can go on and take other classes. So they are scholarships out
And
there
there
for
are things
adults,
available.
but not as much as they are for high school students. But they are scholarships out there.
The key is take that next step.
That's right.
Take
That's
that
right.
step,
and
and they'll be glad to.
The schools now, the technical college, instead of, if someone can't afford to purchase a book, they have lending libraries now.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's there. We just hope people
That's
will
right.
take advantage
That's right.
of it. Well, speaking of taking advantage, tell me, and I didn't get a chance to look at this, tell me about this calendar photo contest, something with the Ocmulgee Water Trail Partnership. What's going on there, Paula?
Well, the Ocmulgee Water Trail Partnership, that's another tongue twister. They formed several years ago to promote the Ocmulgee River, and at the time it was from Macon down to Hazelhurst.
Right.
But they are now working, I think they've got it all the way up to Juliet right now,
Oh, okay.
getting those communities on board. But they wanted to do a photo calendar of the Ocmulgee River or the area around it. So they're doing the contest.
Cool.
So there's a few requirements, and you can find most of that information, on their website that
Okay.
tells you the size of the photos and that kind of things.
Good.
And
So if yours is picked, would it be in a calendar?
it'll
Is that what
be
it-
on one of the months in the calendar.
That's great.
But now I'm encouraging people to do this now, because right now they haven't had enough entries.
Oh, okay.
So and it's the hidden treasures of the Ocmulgee River. It could be an event where where you paddled in the event,
Sure.
or you seen something interesting along the banks, or you like the scenery, across the river, and it picked up the river too. I submitted 2 photos.
That's great.
And when I took the photos, that was not in my mind. But you remember when it snowed in
Yeah.
January?
Oh, I bet it's gorgeous.
Went down to McRae's Landing.
Yeah.
And took a photo, and went down to the Lumber City Landing and took a photo of the train trestle. And there was snow on the banks and on the trestle.
And see, whether it's chosen or not, it's fun to do it,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
have it for your own memory.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's a part of Telfair County and a part of the Ocmulgee that most folks wouldn't even
That's
think
right.
about going. So that's a great
And
idea.
you do not have to live in Telfair County to participate. This is
Right.
open to anybody that wants to take a picture along the Ocmulgee River and submit it.
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, that sounds wonderful. Again, if you have a chance, is there a website they could go to, or
There
if they need
is.
more information
It's,
to contact
they
you?
can actually pick up an application from the chamber, an entry form,
Okay.
or they can go to the ocmulgeewatertrail.com
Fantastic.
and download that.
Well, speaking of water, it's hot.
It is hot.
And I noticed here, Ocmulgee State Park has something to cool us off a little bit. And I know a lot of folks, it may be for a lot of people think for the kids, but I may have to run out there
It's
myself.
for adults too.
I was
You can
gonna
be a
say.
kid at heart
That's it.
and have a good time.
So at the Ocmulgee State Park, what have they got to cool me off?
They have got the famous or infamous splash pad.
Cool.
And it is beautiful. This photo, we're looking at it in black
Right.
and white on this, but they turned it on, this has been several years ago, just so I could get this photo. And I just, every time I see it in color, I feel like I need to run out to the splash pad and sit
serious.
under it, But it's open Thursdays through Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's $5 to go into the splash pad itself
Right.
per person. And you have to have the park pass, which is $5 per vehicle.
Oh, you can't beat it.
Regular vehicle, I think buses and all are a different pass fee. But for families, you can't
yeah.
beat that.
Man, go to the splash pad. They got plenty of picnic tables and
They
all
got
that.
a nice playground,
Yeah.
walking trails. You can go out there and fish.
I mean,
You
there's
can
so
take
many
it- that's
things
right.
that
Take
you
a
could
kayak.
do. And that's the thing about the state park. I noticed that there's something else at the state park for the summer as well, Paula. So we've got a lot going on out
We
there. What
do.
else do we have?
Going on this week, we have the Junior Friends Camp for ages 5 through 8. I'm sure they've already taken all the applications
Right.
this week. So they go out there, and it gives a child an opportunity to learn about and to experience nature. they do all types of activities to increase their artistic ability
Right.
or to open up their artistic ability. And they exercise through their play, and you know what? They get to make new friends and create wonderful memories.
Absolutely. Is Ranger Jody part of that? I wonder. Or
I'm
not?
sure she probably does participate in that. The Friends group for Little Ocmulgee State Park is the one that puts it on.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Ranger Jody comes out and does a
Oh,
program.
she is so popular.
She is very
know.
popular, and she is so good with the children. You know, she is patient,
Oh, yeah.
and she just does a wonderful job. So next week, the Junior Friends Camp is for ages 9 through 12. That's June the 11th and the 14th. I'm not certain if they have filled all their spots, but
Right.
if your child is interested in attending between the ages of 9 and 12, you can call out to the park and find that out. And that number is 868-7474, and it's $35 per child. But, you know, that's 4 days, I
Oh,
believe.
yeah.
And it's pretty much 5 hours, I think, of
And
that
they'll
day.
enjoy it. They'll have a great
Yes,
time.
yes.
And I mean, you get outside and just enjoy a little nature
Yeah,
too, you
yeah.
know, with that.
So-
You know, before we went on the air today, you and I were talking about the different celebrations for the 4th of July. And I've noticed here that Little Ocmulgee State Park is participating and doing something like while the Chambers is on July the 7th. What's going on with the Little Ocmulgee State Park celebration? This
Well,
looks like a fun one too. We
it-
may
it-
just be shooting fireworks everywhere.
Well, they're not actually doing fireworks.
Okay.
But it'll be on June the 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they do some of the old-fashioned things to celebrate Independence Day, like the three-legged race and sack races
yeah.
and tug of war, and where you eat watermelon seed spitting contest and those kind of
fun.
things, you know. So they do things that are kind of old-fashioned for
yeah.
people to participate in. They'll have concessions there so you can buy you a hot dog or a burger or a dill pickle.
Oh man.
And you know that's
those-
like apple pie and
Oh.
dill pickles for the 4th. You know, that's just
Absolutely.
tradition.
You know, the
So-
one I'm looking at here, though, even though it says this is for the kids, a giant water slide. It looks like maybe there. That's what it says.
I'm sure adults can, if it's big enough, if it's
I'll
those-
put on a pound or two, so they may have to put a little extra air in.
My
the thing,
problem
so-
would be getting to the top.
Yeah, mine too.
Coming down would be easy.
That would be fun, but
But-
it looks like that is really nice for them to do that.
It is. They've been doing this a couple years, and again, this is sponsored by the Friends of Little Ocmulgee State Park. There's no fee for the games to participate or for the slide, but remember the $5 park pass fee per
That'll
car
get you
is
in.
required.
That's fantastic.
And once you pay that, then you're free to go out and participate in anything.
See, that's one of the
So-
things I hope people are realizing, just like I'm starting to as well. There's so much to do here.
That's either cheap or
Yeah.
free, you know. And listen, I have no problem with people wanting to go, and I won't call a particular theme park or of any kind.
Right.
I mean, we all like to do things somewhere
Sure.
else. But, you know, we have a lot here in our community
do.
that will really fit within our budget.
And that's the key.
It is,
the
budget.
money-wise.
And
And for people to do that, well, let's go to the big city of Milan.
yeah.
They got something. My wife's old stomping ground. She won't come on camera, but she loved Milan. Tell us a little bit about the Milan show and what's going on there.
They've been doing this several years. It's on July the 4th, and I actually attended it last year. And I want to say, an excellent fireworks show.
I bet.
Really, really
Excuse me.
good. And but they start off at 7 p.m.
Right.
with a parade. It's push, pull, or pedal. Anything you can push, pull, or pedal, you can put it in the parade.
That is
So,
a wonderful
Isn't that a neat idea?
I
Push,
love that
pull, or pedal. It
idea.
could be your golf cart. It could be your bicycle. You could be pulling a
I
wagon.
was saying somebody pull a wagon. Just
Yeah,
have a great
yeah.
time.
You could pull a wagon with a bicycle.
I was going to say, may need somebody to push my old car, get me through. but
yeah,
that'd
well,
be
you know
all
what?
right.
Wouldn't that be cool? Push a car through it.
That'd be great.
It'd be funny.
that-
You know, something fun.
But that is a great. Now the date on that
It's
is
July the 4th.
So it's the actual
the
day.
actual day.
Okay.
And then after the parade, they do at 7:30. They have games and entertainment. I'm not for certain who their entertainment is at this point. And then around dark, the Milan Volunteer Fire Department
has
their fireworks show.
And you see, that's America there. You know, the
and
small
they have
town,
vendors there too.
Small town 4th
Yeah,
of July celebration,
yeah.
you can't beat it.
You can't beat it. And you know, we do these things on different days. Like we talked earlier during the show. Alamo has a fireworks show too, and I'm
Right.
gonna give a shout out to Alamo.
Sure.
Their fire department does it, but they do theirs the Saturday before the 4th, and then Milan does their fireworks
On
show
the 4th,
on the 4th.
right.
So we then bring ours after the 4th. It's not about it. The community's competing
No.
against each other. We're doing this to provide some sort of entertainment to the people. So
Exactly.
we've got, you know, 3 different opportunities for people to come out and see fireworks. If you love fireworks, you got 3 opportunities within a week of it to get your
That's it.
feel.
So they'll definitely enjoy that. Plus, if you throw in June 30th with Little Ocmulgee State Park,
doing their activities, you know, and you
boy,
still
that's
have,
that's 4 days.
and
in
you
a
can go to
7-day
the
period.
park and do
Yes.
some of their activities, and then you can go to Alamo to their fireworks show. So you know you got lots of and none of these. There's no fee other than the park fee, the
Yeah.
pass fee. That's your parking fee.
And just
but
bring an
activities-
appetite, maybe buy a little something.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
wanted to.
Please bring a few bucks to buy at least a bottle
But
of water.
sure,
or
you're gonna need it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be hot. But
So-
absolutely on that. So that's what I say. There's so many great things going on in Telfair and in Wheeler that we do
Yeah.
encourage people to take a look and to kind of listen and look, tell your friends and all. One of the things when I moved down here 40 some odd years ago, or close to 40 years ago, that struck me, and it has been such a staple of summer vacation over the years, and it's such a nice thing, and people seem to enjoy it, and the kids do, is that our local churches do a lot of the vacation Bible
They
schools.
do.
And this is something that I know, Paula, you want to give a shout out to and talk a little bit about, because
Yeah.
it's such a great thing, and the kids learn, but they have a great environment to learn,
right.
and it's a great thing. So tell us a little bit about the vacation Bible schools.
This list we're looking at is not all the churches and all the churches that are participating, but I did put something out on Facebook encouraging people to send me the information so I could put it in the newsletter. But there's the few that we have listed that responded that have vacation Bible school. You know, it's like a staple of summer vacation.
It really is.
And the churches, they really get into it compared to when I did Bible school as a child and Bible
Right.
school now. It is like going to a theme park.
It is.
With the decorations. You know, you feel like you're actually into whatever it is, you know.
Exactly.
Like I remember some of them's been about space, you know, and everything is about the planet, the solar system, and all.
Right.
So, you know, they get really into it, and it's always colorful and a lot of activities, but they're also learning about the Bible.
Exactly.
And so, the ones that I have listed, and I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm
Yes,
going
please.
to mention these, and they're not in date order, they're just in order by the church name.
Sure.
We have China Hill Church, which is on West River Road in Ryan. Their Bible school starts June the 11th through the 15th from 6 p.m. And their theme is Shipwrecked Island. You know, cool.
I like it.
You know, and you think,
like
how
it.
do these themes have anything to do with
Oh,
God? But they
they'll
make
figure
it
it.
fit in.
They will.
Milan Church of God,
Yeah.
Milan Church of God, they're on the Ryan Highway in Milan, and theirs is Treasure Island, and it's July the 15th through the 19th from 6 to 8:30. Faith Baptist Church on First Avenue in McRae, Helena, it's June the 10th through the 13th from 6 to 8:30. Not sure what their theme was. McRae First Baptist Church, they're actually in it now today.
Oh, okay.
What's
yeah,
today's
today
date?
being the 7th, this is probably the last day for
Yep,
them.
but
let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, give them a shout out. Their theme was Shipwrecked also. So, Scotland Baptist Church, theirs is June the 10th through the 15th. On the 10th, they go from 6 to 8:30, and then the 11th through the 15th, they go from 6:30 to 8:30. And theirs is Game On, which
like
is
that.
sports. I've seen some of the logos for
Yeah.
it, and it's sports related. So, you know, Telfair's big on sports.
Oh, they'll
so
love
these
it.
kids will love it. So,
Absolutely.
Lumber City Baptist Church on the Golden Isles Highway in Lumber City. Same thing. It's gear up, get ready, game on. June the 10th through the 15th. Theirs is from 6 to 9 p.m. I'm very familiar with the Lumber City Baptist Church Bible School.
Right.
They have an excellent time with mission study and their classroom time and crafts.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, if anybody provides a meal, that Lumber City Baptist Church women's going to feed them
I bet
kids
they
and
do.
adults. So
I bet they do.
I'm going to give a shout out for them.
Give
because
it. Absolutely.
I'm very familiar with them. Now, I'm sure all the rest of them do just
They
as
do,
well.
they do. But that's all right. Give them that plug.
McRae United Methodist Church on College Street, McRae, Helena. Theirs is Rolling River Rampage. That sounds like I need to get wet.
does.
You know, we
They
need to
might
get
wanna
out
have
on.
something.
I know they may have water
They might
slides or
have something on
sprinklers.
that.
Theirs is July the 20th through the 22nd. On the July the 20th, it'll be 5:15 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. And on the 21st, it'll be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And July the 22nd, it'll be 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So, and the last one we have listed, but not the last one that's doing Bible school,
Right.
the last one I'm aware of, is Southside Baptist Church on Parker Street in McRae. Their theme is the Rolling River Rampage. I either want to go whitewater rafting's what I think about.
Yes.
Theirs is going on this week. They got ends on June the 8th, and just because it's close to the end, if it's still going on, they'll let those kids go.
Oh, yeah.
And they would never turn a kid down, I don't think. And theirs is 6 to 8:30. But if you weren't able to write all this down, they can always call me or look on the chamber's website and
see
find
it.
this.
And now,
So
what's that chamber website, just in case anybody,
it's
needs it?
telfairco.org.
Telfairco.org. So make
So-
sure you get that and you can
Yeah,
check it
you
out.
can find it all.
Looking at
So-
this, Paula, too, between this and all the activities we've been over today, you can almost find at least one thing a week to do.
Definitely.
Throughout
Between the
summer.
state park, the library, Vacation Bible School,
Yes. The fireworks
the
celebration.
fireworks stuff, you think about it, and little or no cost on all this.
Exactly. That's
And-
that's what's so great here about this. Paula, before we close out, and we've been over so much, but I don't want to stop without asking you, did you want to talk about anything else, whether it's some employment opportunities or things along that line
Yes.
that maybe we haven't hit on today?
Let's just talk about employment opportunities. All these businesses or industries that we have in our community, they're constantly trying to find employees to fill positions. So I like to promote as much as I know. I might not always know what position they're looking for,
Right.
but you can always go apply at these places or ask if they're hiring. And if
Exactly.
they're not, that's fine. But go ask. But just a
Sure.
few of our major industries that I know are continuously looking for employees is McRae Coca-Cola, Husqvarna, Little Ocmulgee State Park and Lodge. They're looking, for to fill
And
positions.
put in an application if they don't
They'll
have something.
hold it.
That's
They'll hold
right.
it. Yeah. Occasionally, Lumber City Hardware or Lumber City Nursing and Rehab, or even McRae Manor. That's not listed on here, but
Right.
they occasionally are looking for employees. Even Oconee Fall Line Technical Colleges, I've noticed several things recently where they're looking to fill different positions.
Right.
So, and not always it is they're looking for someone that's wanting to teach. It's other positions.
Sure,
that need
there's
to
a
be
lot
filled.
of different things
That's
that you
right.
can do in a
That's
college or
right.
a school.
Telfair Forest Products in Lumber City, constantly looking. Telfair State Prison, another one that's constantly trying to fill positions.
And one of the nice things on that too, walk-in interviews.
Yeah, on Telfair State
Welcome,
Prison, you can
so-
go and do a walk-in interview. And Wheeler County Correctional, which is part of Core Civic, what we know as CCA,
Right.
they, looking for employees, and you have to apply online for any of the CCAs, now known as Core Civic
Right.
jobs. You do have to apply online at corecivic.com. But, this is not all of them. But you can always go to the Georgia Department of Labor's website or to their office in Eastman, and you can search for job opportunities
yes.
by area. And another thing is Job Training Unlimited. They're there to help you do a resume correctly.
Boy, that's good because
It
that's
is.
a first impression when an employer sees that.
So, and sometimes they're able to point you in a direction for a job. So, and we have a Job Training Unlimited office right here in McRae, Helena.
People should take advantage.
They do, and it's on Forsyth Street where the Helena City Hall was located.
Right.
They do have different hours. Monday is 8 to 5. Wednesday is 9 to 4, and Friday is 9:30 to 3:30. And their phone number, always call them to see if they're open. 868-2000.
I was going to
It's
say,
easy.
that's you can't forget that one.
No, 2000.
So we're there. That's wonderful. Like I say, there's so many resources here in Telfair that can be used, and so many good activities. And you know, one of the things, Paula, before we wrap up, looking towards here at the end, we have got so many businesses that are members of the chamber. I mean, I'm looking at this, and I mean, there's got to be close to 100 between
And we'll
that
take more.
sponsor. Absolutely,
We'll take more. You know, membership is really cheap. For the average business or industry that are less than 50 employees, it's
Right.
$125 a year.
Right.
That gets you listed on our website. If I see anything or you send it to me that you're putting on Facebook advertising your business,
Right.
I share it. You're always listed in the newsletter. If you have rat cards or business cards, you can put them at the office. And
Sure.
anybody that requests by mail information, I always, even if they're just wanting a map, I always put business cards and even menus in the packet that I mail them. People are constantly calling about a business in the community, and being we are a membership-based
Right.
organization, we promote our members first.
That's right.
So, but there's a lot of other opportunities besides just getting
Yes.
listed on the website, Facebook, or the newsletter. Depending on what insurance company that this business uses, a lot of companies give discounts on their business
Okay.
insurance premiums if they're a member of the chamber, and they'll save typically way more than what they're paying in an annual membership.
Exactly.
So that's one thing that if you don't join, but for that reason only, to save on your
would.
business property insurance, like I said, you have to talk to your agent and see if
Right.
they have a company that does that. Another thing that could save you money if you have to provide workers' comp insurance. You can be a part, if you join the chamber, then you can be a part of the Drugs Don't Work program, and that can
Right.
save you up, I believe it's like 7.5% on your workers' comp premium insurance.
Boy.
And a new thing, this just came about in the last month or so.
What's that?
If you are a member of the chamber, you and your employees can get an enrollment form for from the chamber
Right.
on Air Med Care.
Now
That is
that-
the helicopter.
So that if you had an emergency that you had to be airlifted,
That's right.
this you could get a discount on that.
It's $10 a year discount.
That's great.
And so there's several opportunities that could save you money. And if you're already a member of the Air Med Care, when it's time for the enrollment again, you can get this form and submit it and still save. You can't save
No.
what you've already paid.
Right, but from the future on, well, I mean, being a member of the chamber is very important. It's good, and like I say, it shows some local patriotism,
Well,
so
and
to speak. You know,
that's
that we're
right.
trying to help our own community.
And if for no other reason, you know, we all like to think nobody has to have money to operate, you know, to do
Right.
things. But the chamber does need money to operate, to keep up a website, to promote events that are going on. You know, we do spend money on different things to promote these
Absolutely.
things. So, and we work with the Development Authority to promote our county as far as new industry
Sure,
or
to bring businesses
yes,
in. Absolutely.
So, and you have to have money to operate. So, you know, it's not like we're just taking money and not doing anything.
No, you
So-
can see what's going on a regular
but
basis.
we do take new membership every day. If you join in the middle of the year, we try to bill in January. If you join today, I would prorate your dues through December the 31st,
great.
and then in January bill you
Crank
for the full
it
amount for the
right
next year.
up.
Yeah, so I wouldn't make you pay for a whole year and you only receive 6 months worth of services. So.
See, it's a fair person you're dealing with here. I tell you what. Well, Paula, it's been a pleasure. Is there any last second things before we close up here this afternoon?
No, I would just like to say a big shout out to Deep Productions, Patty, and yourself.
Well, thank you.
And your son, remind me his name again.
John.
John,
the appendix cameraman.
Yeah.
He had the appendix.
Sticky
surgery.
head around here, John.
I think there he goes.
Get his picture. There he goes.
That's a scary one right there.
But
thank
you know, for
Paula.
doing this for the chamber, and not
We
just
love
for the
doing
chamber, for our area, so to help us another way to get our information out.
Exactly.
So thank y'all very much.
Well, thank you.
You're a pleasure to work with.
Oh man,
and-
it's fun. I have a big time. I feel like the old Dale Ward show from Channel 13. Except I won't say Trody Trode. I will say thank you for joining us, Paul. I look forward to our next one. We'll probably, like you say, try to do it towards the end of June.
Yes.
So everybody will have ideas again as we remind them what's going on in July.
And you know,
It's a big
I'd love.
month.
Hopefully, we can have some special guests for. I
We were
won't say
talking
who,
about
but
one.
maybe we'll have a special guest or two that that's going to be participating in some of our events. You
And
know,
we hope
so.
to be able, D Productions hopes to be at some of these events to actually broadcast,
Yes.
videotape some of them. So hopefully everybody can go, but if you can't, maybe you can kind of get the feel through some of our
That's
own air
right.
productions.
That's
And all.
right.
But Paula, thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Mr. Tim.
again, that's what's happening in Telfair. Have a great day.